Welcome to Back at Class here on the Artist Block, ladies and gentlemen. This being the Monday part of my channel. I get a ton of emails from a lot of people who are like, yo, John, I don't understand colors. I don't know how they work and I don't know how to use them all too well. So today I'm going to be bringing you guys a small introduction to color theory. Today we'll be looking at the traditional color wheel. And in this color wheel we have three primary colors. Those colors being yellow, red, and blue. I know for print, the color wheel is a little bit different. We won't be focusing on that color wheel because it's not relevant to what we're doing today. Now back on topic, it's from those three primary colors that we can make any other color on the color wheel. If we mix two primary colors, we end up with what's called a secondary color. Yellow and red making orange, red and blue making purple, and blue with yellow will give you green. Those being our secondary colors. Lastly, our tertiary colors are made up of one primary color and one secondary color. So if we take one primary color with a neighboring secondary color, we end up with what's called a tertiary color, which would be yellow-orange, orange-red, red-violet, violet-blue, blue-green, and green-yellow. Now if we take our color wheel and we cut it in half, we end up with warm colors on one side with cool colors on another side. Warm colors have a tendency to pop out at the viewer, as to where cool colors have a tendency to look further away from the viewer. Now with that said, there are a bunch of different variables with colors, so this isn't always the case. Let's talk a little bit about those variables, or better yet, the properties of color. Color has three different properties that can be changed to give you any color imaginable. First off, we have hue, which is just a fancy way of saying color. Then we have saturation, which is how intense the color is. Lastly, we have tonal value, or just value for short, and this is how black or white the color is. Now by mixing white with a hue, you get what's called a tone. And by mixing black with a hue, you get what's called a shade. Doing this affects your values. So how do we change our saturation? We already talked about how to make different hues, and we just talked about how to change your value. So how do we mess with saturation? So in order to change the saturation of a color, you need to add the color opposite of that color on the color wheel. That may have sounded confusing, but I'm about to clear it up for you guys. So let's say I had the color red, and I wanted to lower the saturation of the color red. The way I would do this is I would add green to the color red, because green is opposite of red on the color wheel, and that's going to lower the saturation of that red. The more green I add to that, the more gray my color is going to become. Some artists actually use this in order to shade their images, giving it a little bit more of a realistic feel, but we're not going to get too in depth into that just yet. At first, color could be a very intimidating obstacle for a lot of people out there, and it doesn't have to be. I hope this video helped you guys understand colors a little bit better. The more you learn it, the more confident and comfortable you become actually using colors, and it won't be such an obstacle for you to overcome anymore. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys would like me to do simple little short videos going over other color schemes and how I personally use them. If you guys would like more of these tutorials, show me by hitting that like button, and let me know what I should go over next, whether it be perspective or something else you guys may have in mind. For those of you guys who are new here, this little thing you just watched is called Back at the Class, and it happens every Monday. Normally I bring you guys a portrait, an original painting, or I take your guys' request, but right now I'm working on an acrylic painting as well as a stipple image. Now on Thursdays we have The Bench, which is a little bit more graffiti related, where I do tutorials, critiques, talks, and other things. So if you guys don't want to miss out on those videos, you can always click that subscribe button down below to become part of the community. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you this Thursday for The Bench. Until then, peace.